It's May 22nd, 2020. An Airbus A320 is making its final approach into Karachi, Pakistan. But this isn't a routine landing. Inside the cockpit, it's absolute chaos. You've got alarms blaring and a crew that seems to be fighting against a disaster that they themselves created. In just a few minutes, their journey is going to end in a terrible, terrible tragedy.
Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Pakistan 8303. You know, those were some of the last words ever heard from the pilot. Just seconds after that call, the aircraft carrying 99 people slammed into a busy residential neighborhood, just a stone's throw from the runway. So what happened here? The investigation uncovered just a shocking chain of events. It was a series of human errors so profound that they managed to bypass technology, all the established procedures, and warning after warning. So let's trace the steps that turned what should have been a totally routine flight into an absolute catastrophe. Now, our story doesn't actually begin at the moment of the crash. We have to rewind a few minutes earlier, during the plane's approach. This is where the first, seemingly small decision was made that really set the whole disaster in motion. I mean, look at this. On paper, everything was perfect. This was a short domestic hop, just about an hour and 45 minutes. The plane, an Airbus A320, was in great shape. The captain, incredibly experienced, we're talking over 18,000 flight hours. The first officer was a veteran too. By all accounts, this was just another day at the office. Okay, so as they were getting close to Karachi, air traffic control gave them a standard, longer approach route. But, to save a little time, the pilots asked if they could take a more direct path, a shortcut. And since there wasn't a lot of traffic, they were given the okay. Now, this isn't that unusual, but this one simple choice, well, it had a critical consequence that nobody managed. And here it is. This is the crucial mistake. They never told the plane's brain, the flight management computer, that they were taking that shortcut. So you've got the pilots physically flying the shorter route, but the autopilot is still calculating its descent based on the longer one. And right there, a dangerous mismatch was created. You see, these approach procedures are incredibly precise, and for good reason. By the time they reached a key navigation point called Makali, which is just about 28 kilometers from the airport, their altitude was supposed to be exactly 7,000 feet. Not 7,100, not 6,900, 7,000. But they weren't at 7,000 feet. They were way up at 10,000 feet, a full 3,000 feet too high. Why? Because the autopilot was still working off that longer route, so it was descending way too slowly for the shortcut they were actually flying. They were now officially high and fast, a really dangerous place to be when you're trying to land a plane. Now, being too high